This is DJ Wolf Live. Give me a second. I'm gonna take a libation and then get into it. All right. Think I'm ready for my close up now. Anyway, yeah, you read it right. My subs here, you guys, and maybe the only real friends I have. I was just thinking about that earlier, right? And you know, I've been around for a long time. I may not sound like it. If you have seen me on YouTube over the years, I may not look like it, but I do feel that way. Though. I just feel like you know, I'm nothing wrong with considering some of my subs my friends, but I don't have any real bonds with anything outside of YouTube. I really don't. Not work, not anything outside of that, not anything outside of, not even in church really. I don't have. I mean, I don't have a lot of church friends. Either. I mean, not anybody I really consider friends. Maybe one, maybe not none really, but just people I know. Just acquaintances. I consider most of the people I do know I'm not really bonded as friends or acquaintances. You know, and I do personally feel like, wow, what happened, man? I know some of my friends are no longer around, man. You know, and no longer of this earth, unfortunately. Um, but it's just kind of sad now at my age. I don't even have one friend really outside of my family. You know, and my significant other. That's it. You know, nothing wrong with that. I like to have a few more. Although sometimes I think sometimes when you have a few friends, you got one of those friends who are always trying to beg. Now, there's a few friends I thought I had over years that was really cool. That was really cool with me, and come to find out, they were bigger snakes than I thought. You know, mainly because they were hating on me, jealous of me, jealous of what I have, jealous of who I'm with all of that. But it's just weird. Those aren't real friends if they're going to be friends like that. You know, but it's just the fact that at my age, I don't have one good friend. Not one. Not one. Not one I even trust. Not one, period. I mean, none. Zero. You know, and I always ask myself, and I even asked my old lady, I said, what is it about me that people just don't cling on and hang on to? And when I mean hang on to, like somebody who's like, yeah, man, we got to go, do blah, blah, blah. Hang out, go do this or go do that. I don't have friends like that, man. I really don't. I really don't. I don't have friends I go out to the ball game with, go bowling with, none. None of that. None of that. I just don't. I don't know. Maybe because there's something about the things that my father didn't really like doing with me, or didn't offer to do, or didn't even attempt to do. That's another story. God rest his soul. But maybe it's something to do with that. I don't know. I mean, it just I don't know. But I'm fine with that on some level. Sometimes I'm not. I have certain hobbies I like doing. I like doing music production. I like playing the guitar. You know, you know. I'm doing currently doing the new smart guitar things with these smart guitars that people call toys or Guitar Hero, but they're really not, except one. And I got three of them. But anyway, but I just don't have a lot in common with a lot of folks other than that. Other than what I do with my jobs and all that. It's just I don't know. I try, you know. I don't know what it is. I honestly don't know what it is. I've had a YouTube channel since 2008, and I'm up to around 300 subs after all these years, after nearly 20 years of being on YouTube, which amazes me. But I mean, and I'm happy about it because I know the only real folks gonna follow you anyway. You know, I'm really pleased about that. But I guess sometimes it's nice to be able to have somebody in your corner that understand you, that you understand them. Now, don't get me wrong. I've been married for a long time, And I will admit, it took a little while for my wife to really get me, you know. But it's different when you talk to a woman about things, about stuff that you deal with as a man that they don't understand, that you can talk to with another man about. They'll understand what you're dealing with when it comes to men things, that women just don't understand, or how you view things in life. They view stuff very different from you. Now, I'll give you an example of one thing that I think is a little different from the way she view it than I do about Michelle Obama. You know, she said, well, nobody really should care about whether she supports her husband or not. It ain't about point about caring. It's about the fact that this man was the first black president of the United States of America, and I told her that. And the fact that his wife did not stand by him like she should have been doing, because she showed up to a state funeral of former President Jimmy Carter, which she should have definitely been at, and she didn't go to the inauguration of Donald Trump, which she should have went, even though she didn't like him. There are people there that didn't like him; they still went. They still attended. You know, and to this day, I don't understand it, but but it's not about, oh, you gotta care about that. No, I don't. And the only person that I really care about that is Barack himself. I don't care about that beyond that. But I still, doesn't make sense to me why somebody would do that to their husband, who was the one time the most important man on the planet, and you would disrespect him like that twice, back to back, functions at that. It makes no sense. Then there people starting rumor about, oh, are they divorced? And he was seen with this woman who they try to say with actors or whatever, and I don't have no proof of that. That's alleged. As far as I'm concerned, it's alleged. Okay, but that's how rumors get started. You know, and I don't think she cared enough to even to be spent to be out there with him to even quell rumors about that. At least act like you want to be there. After all, you guys are millionaires. The Obamas are very wealthy now. As a result of him being in office, and getting those deals. That's why I don't understand how she gonna act like that around him publicly. It's just ridiculous. It's totally ridiculous to me, and totally appalling to me, to be frank. You know, I just didn't like that. I just didn't like the way she did it. I really don't. You know, and like I said, therefore, I lost all respect. I had no respect for her anymore. I had no respect for her at all. It's all out the window for me. I once had respect for her. I once admired her. I really did, along with Barack himself. Considering he put her as a a pillar to earth. He did constantly. He's always done it publicly ever since I've known Barack Obama. Ever since I've known her, let's put it like that. And it's a shame, you know, because he considered her his bestie. But she doesn't act like that around him. And see, this is what I'm talking about. When you have at least a couple of male friends that you can relate to, they can understand where you're coming from. Y'all can vibe, and you can figure things out with that. That you can't things like that. You can't figure. You can't just talk to a woman about, because that woman gonna look at it from a completely different angle. This is what I mean by it's important for a man to have at least a couple of male friends. It is. It's very important. I know some people may not look at it that way, but I do. You know, because women ain't gonna look at the views that you look at as a man. You know, remember, we come from logic. Women come from emotion on that. We look at things from a completely different level. Man, so and that's the way I see it. But like I said, there are people that don't see it that way, but I do. You know, and that's probably why I kind of long for not for just male bonding. You know what I'm saying? And when I mean by male bonding, people, guys who just hang out and shoot the breeze and talk about life, man. Talk about family, relatives. There's things you can learn from other men about things that you need to know, as not only as a man, but as a family man, as a grandparent, and stuff like that. That's why male bonding is important. Just like a female bond is important for females, male bonding is important for males. You know, so just saying, and sometimes as a man, you do long to be able to get advice and speak of advice and get advice and give advice and talk about life with other male friends who understand what you're going through as man. You know, and like I said, it's completely different when you talk to a woman about things. Totally different. You know, I don't know, man. I'm just saying. I guess for me, it's just like because that's the thing that I used to do with my dad. God rest his soul. We mail bond about a lot of stuff, man. Even stuff I didn't agree with him on, and a lot of stuff I did agree with him on. But I don't have that anymore, man. You know, it's just it's just something you miss, man. But the majority of my uncles are gone, so I can't do that with them anyway. You know, some of my very closest friends are gone. You know, and I guess you know I don't know. It's just I just don't have that. I do have God though, and I talk to God as often, and probably more. I need to talk to Him more. You know, because that's the only real male bonding I have, and nothing wrong with that. You know, but when it comes to certain other things, you need that eye to eye male bonding. Something where you can relate directly with somebody uh, of a physical nature. And not, I don't mean like physical. Somebody you could bond with who's that you could actually talk directly to face. You know, spiritual bond is different. In terms of if you have spiritual bonding with God, which I do. At least I feel I do, and I know He's there, and I know He's working. But you also want to have that bonding with somebody face to face as well, which I don't have, and I'm fine with that. You know, I'm not, but I am. It's cool, but it ain't cool. You know, and I'm very thankful of having people on YouTube who do listen and do understand what I'm dealing with. You know, at least I believe you do. You know, I have no doubt that you do, and I appreciate y'all. You know, like I watched the game. Me and my wife, we watched the Commanders game. We're gonna watch the big one this Sunday and crash out about it, and all that. And she knows about almost about much about football as I do. It's crazy, which is the good thing about that. But you don't get it from a male perspective, though. I'm not knocking women for what they know about football. Because, like I said, I found out over the years that I was talking to one of her girlfriends, and I was just telling her a few months ago about how remarkable it is that women know as much about football now as guys do. A lot of them do. They'll tell you about stats and everything. I was like, "Oh, how you know that?" You know, it's fun though. It is fun, especially when y'all root for the same team, even if you're not. You know, but for me, it's not the same. You don't get the same vibe. It's a good vibe, but it ain't. I don't know how to explain it. You have to be a man to understand where I'm coming from. Real talk. So I don't know. It is what it is. I guess what I'm saying is male bonding is what people say it is true or not, but male bonding is important in terms of men uh, talking to men and relating to men about things that you couldn't relate to anybody else about. That women you wouldn't be able to relate to women with about certain things. You could, like I said again, certain things that men can talk about that they can relate to directly that you couldn't relate to a woman about, and that's true. I'm sorry. I know some people are like, yes, you can. No, you cannot. That's like me telling, I mean, to try to tell a woman how to frost her hair, how to put frost tips on her hair. I don't know nothing about that. I can't relate to you with that. You know, not at all. Nor will I try because I don't do hair. You know, now if you do hair, it's another story. But you basically get the gist of what I'm trying to say. But that's why male bonding is important. There's things you can learn from other men about being a man and just maintain your manhood in general. You know, that keeps you grounded in your manhood. You know, you can't do that with a woman. There's certain things like that you can't do with a woman. You know, in terms of talking about it. You know, that's all I have to say. All right. Well, hopefully, between now and tomorrow, I'm going to try to finally do a comparison. Well, not really. Well, maybe a comparison. I'm trying to debate if I'm going to actually keep my other. I'm gonna go off the topic right quick. So I got three smart guitars. I got the Enya Cyber G. I have the Libra Live C1, which is my personal favorite, and the other one that I have that I like is the Lava Genie. All three smart guitars. All three do very similar things, but I think personally, one does one thing good, the other one does another thing even better with two options, and the third one does it just as good as both of them. But I'm trying to decide if I'm going to go ahead and keep the Lamborghini or not, because I'm thinking yes and no. I don't know. I'm gonna try it out. I'm gonna try it again one more again, and then I'll go from there. Otherwise, I may keep them all three, because I actually want to get back to playing real guitar. I actually want to get another real guitar, and that's the reason why I'm saying it. Because I was going to go over here to Guitar Center to go look at another real guitar, but they haven't had anything over there that I was actually interested in getting. I'll be honest. They haven't. And I actually have one. I have two guitars, real guitars. One is a bass and one is a lead. I may get back into those anyway. But nevertheless, I'm going to make a comparison of the three that smart guitars that I do have, and tell you what they're for, why they why what I use them for, and why I like them, and why I actually prefer uh, one of them over the other, and why I also do think playing a regular guitar, if you have the capacity to do it, is just as important as playing a smart guitar. But also, why smart guitars are not for everybody, but for people who, you know, will be able who couldn't play a regular guitar, or or don't have the capacity to be able to do it. It's a great option. Trust me, it's a great option. I love it. You know, I even serenade to my wife with one of them. I love it. I love it. And one to me plays more like a real guitar than the other two, to be honest. Although they all three do pretty much the same thing, but it's a process of how one does a little bit better to me than the others, which is why I like the Libra Live, which is currently what they're talking about on CES for a while. Okay, what are we doing here, y'all? Oh, my goodness. Okay. But anyway, that's all I got. I'm gonna get off my soapbox right now. This is DJ Wolf. I'm out.